like we back down the quack, nigga. Let's rip the Bethlehem.
Chapter 199. Womack. As I rode down the Jersey Turnpike, my mind began to wander. I went into deep thought. I delved into my own sight to reflect on my own travels. I had just emptied 2 clips in Harlem and now I was back on the highway. Return to sender was entered into a blender. I didn't know if anyone got hit during the shootout, and for real, I really didn't care. I got out of there at the first sight of a cop car on a hot bar. But I was still hoping a few of them caught some of my hot balls. I never heard from the African again. I even went to Connecticut months later hoping to see him. No luck. As I continued on the turnpike, I reflected on what got me here as I drove in the same car that I drove from the shootout. 3,000 pills and 48 grand in the trunk. 48 grand wasn't much. I was counting that monthly when I was 16, moving 50 to 100 pounds of weed every month. But I had just served a total of 12 years in some of the most dangerous and vicious prisons in America's history. I had just beat multiple cases, including 2 bodies. I had just avoided new cases while in prison, and I had just removed all of the government informants from my hood. And I was only 30. I was only 30 and knowing deep inside that the next time I go to prison, I probably won't ever make it back out. I know I would be facing letters because I wasn't out here bullshitting. I wasn't playing any games in the streets. I was busting first. I wasn't selling wolf tickets. I looked at the speedometer and realized that I was speeding. Damn, I was way over the limit. I was zoned out and slipping. The normal brain of a menace. As I coasted through Jersey, the horrible smell of chemicals invaded my nostrils as I drove by the numerous chemical plants on the side of the turnpike. It smelled like spoiled milk and urine, feces and magic shave. I immediately got a flashback of being down Lorton, behind the wall. When I was in the hole over Occoquan, I was getting a lot of warnings about what to expect once I went behind the wall. One of the most notorious names that was always mentioned was a dude named Womack. A homie was on his 15-minute rec and came to my cell to warn me about Womack. He said, if they put you in a cell block with dude, avoid him as best as you can and definitely don't exchange no words with him. He be looking for drama. Oh yeah? I know you might not want to hear that, but that's word to the wise. I was back there with him for about a year. Worst time I ever served in my life. Dude is a certified nut. Dude is a certified psycho. My response? Man, look. I ain't tripping off no Womack. Fuck Womack. He jump out there, I'ma slam that knife in him. That's what he wants you to do, homie. This not the average dude you're dealing with. This dude is a certified psychopath. He been stabbed on about 20 different occasions. Everybody back there want to kill him and done try to kill him. He look forward to getting stabbed. Know why? Because if he don't die, he gonna sue the prison, get a settlement, and then spend all the money on dope. That's how he bid, off settlements and dope. He got HIV, so he don't care about getting bodied. He bid off of making your bed hard, snorting the bone and nodding. But that ain't what I'm putting you on point about. You can handle that. What I'm putting you on point about is he will shit your ass down. Like nothing you ever seen. He will shit your ass down. This dude Womack that he spoke about was a freak for pain. He was a dope fiend and a homosexual, and he had AIDS. But what made him vicious was his ability to throw shit in your cell, no matter how far his cell was from yours. His ability to turn the whole cell block into a chemical pit. The smell of shit would linger for weeks. And if you were his victim, it was all over your cell, in your hair, your clothes, your soap, your photo album, your Walkman, your shoes. It was everywhere. HIV shit with blood in it. The only way to avoid it is to dive under your bed and wait for the carnage to finish. Then you had to clean all that shit up. Ugh. This dude used to save all of his shampoo and conditioner bottles and use them as toxic weapons. He would fill them up with shit, piss, rotten eggs, spoiled milk, and magic shave. He would have 10 to 15 bottles lined up in his cell. The police wouldn't touch his bottles either, because if they did, the next time they came to work, they would be bathing in that shit. If you had some dope and he ran out of money, he would either make you stab him or you're gonna break bread. He would stand in front of your cell with the bottles lined up, robbing you of your product at the barrel of a squirt bottle. If he saw a young boy that he wanted, he would stand at his bars, fully armed, and tell the young boy to pull his dick out or else. If the young boy didn't abide by his wishes, he would bathe him in the toxic shit. He would bathe him with the water hose of feces. 5 to 6 bottles back to back, squirting like Uzis. He had gotten so prolific that when he was on the top tier and once had a problem with someone on the bottom tier, he lined up his artillery, hung his arm off of the top tier using a small handheld mirror to get his aim perfect, and then used the other arm and open fire. A water hose of diarrhea would spray you down while you were sitting on your bed eating a sandwich. It was torture. And it led men to having anxiety attacks going behind that wall. Those cell blocks would sometimes smell like these chemical plants on the New Jersey Turnpike. But you couldn't roll your window up. You wasn't driving through. You couldn't speed up to get through the toxic odor. Nah, you was trapped in a cell and had to inhale those fumes 24/7 for at least the next 2 weeks. Until Womack struck again. Ugh. I'd rather die than to go back to a place like that. But here I was, doing things that would send me back to a place like that. I was constantly wrestling with my contradictions.
Maximum security. That's a whole new story. That was the worst. That was something else. It was like, first of all, filthy, dirty. If you ever can imagine yourself walking into a place, and you have to get used to it. You know you're going to smell feces. You know you're going to smell everything under the sun that goes in the commode. Because what they was doing back then, throwing on each other, or somebody that comes in there they don't like, they used to save a cup of feces in a container. Why they do that, I don't have a clue.